Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Today I'm going to be working on my Craftsman 13.5 rear engine riding mower. As you guys know, there's a lot of differences between ride-on lawn mowers. This is probably the bottom of the line of ride-ons, although there is this Weed Eater 1 that's just an absolute piece of junk. Do not ever buy that, okay? The Weed Eater 1. Do not buy that. This is actually okay. I have the same one at my mother's house. It's been running for 2-3 years in the backyard, and I never have to do anything but just put gas in it, and it mows pretty well. Sometimes if you have hills and stuff like that, the power is not that good. The front wheels, if they're off the ground, you can't turn. You know what I'm saying? But that's normal since the wheels are so small. Anyway, as you guys know, I got this for free. I sold my Scott's lawn tractor yesterday, and the guy wanted me to take this away from him. He wanted $50 for it off of the price of the Scott's, and I says, well, I get them for free, so I really wouldn't pay $50 for it. He's like, okay, just take it for free. So I took it for free. It has a blown connecting rod, is what the guy told me. He says that, I said, how do you know the engine's blown? He's like, oh, well, I see the connecting rod. Well, I just looked it over, and I don't see the connecting rod anywhere. I'm pretty sure it's blown because there's like oil residue all over the place, even on the bottom pulley. But I don't see the rod, but I'm sure I'll see it when I take this engine off, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the engine off. As you also know from yesterday's video, the rear wheels are seized. They won't turn at all, So to get this out of my van, to roll backwards out of the van, I had to take that wheel off, take the key off the transaxle, off the keyway, so that, it spins freely. That's the only way I got it off. So one of those axles does not have a keyway on it, or a key. After further inspection, if you look under here, it's really, really dirty. If you look at the brake assembly, right? Look at the brake disc. It's rusted to heck, right? That has something to do with the fact that the wheels don't turn, Also, if you look at the freewheel engagement lever here, you can pull it, but what it's pulling isn't moving. It's just a spring on this lever connected to the lever that is supposed to engage and disengage the freewheel of the transmission. So when you pull it, and lock it like that, which it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to pull that lever. Well, if you see, just only the spring is moving, the lever is not moving, so the lever is also seized. So I'm going to remove that caliper and try to spin it loose and stuff, so that eventually this can roll around with the keyway back in there. And also I'm going to use penetrating oil and drown that area and try to loosen up that lever too, so that it could engage and disengage for the freewheel option. The rest of it over here, as you can see, is very, very dirty. Most of this area is encased in dried oil. But honestly, I don't see the hole or the connecting rod that the guy was talking about. But I'm sure we will find it. Look at all that built up crap and oil in there, just caked on there. I think for me to remove the engine, there's not a lot of room to work here. It's recessed inside the thing, inside the frame. So look, you can't get your hand in there. I don't know how you get the battery out of there without removing the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably how you do it. You can't get access to the engine bolts because look, you got this plate there. You barely have any room there. See? How are you going to get in there to remove the engine bolts that are there? So I think I have to remove the deck. So I'm going to flip it on its side and find a way to remove the deck. And that way I can address the brake assembly disc and maybe have access to the engine bolts. Before I do that, I'm going to disconnect the fuel line, throttle cable, the wiring harness to the ignition switch, and the positive wire to the starter. That way all the wiring is disconnected from the engine. I can put it on its side and loosen up the engine bolts and get that engine out. Once you get the engine out, I'll have plenty of room to work. Then when it's on that side, I have plenty of room to work on this too, with the deck off. Looks like the deck isn't too bad. A big wing nut to pull this bolt out to disengage the front part. Looks like one big one here to remove the middle part, but it's still attached to that thing there too, so it might be 3 to 6 separate connections for the mower deck. Before I do all that, I gotta get my Murray Ultra out and ready for pickup, because I have a guy who from Medford who wants to buy it. I'm a little reluctant to sell it, you know. I listed it for $875. You guys know the history of this. This is a wonderful garden tractor in mint condition, and I never wanted to get rid of it because, I mean, it's such a nice tractor, you know what I mean? But I can't keep it because it's a 46 wide deck. You know, I can never use it. It's been sitting in here for like, you know, a year. So I have to get rid of it, and while I was reluctant to, I accepted an offer of $650. The guy actually watched my video after he left a deposit, and he saw the latest episode where I said that I was going to try that additive to fix that small little sump gasket leak, right? And he asked me about it, and I says, hey, listen, if you don't want it, I'll give you your $100 deposit back. You know, I've had like 3 other guys email me after he left the deposit saying that they would like to come and see it for $700 or $750, you know, so I can make more money with this if I sold it. But honestly, I don't even know if I really want to sell it now. It's so nice, you know. But anyway, a deal's a deal. You know, I asked him, I said, look, do you still want it? Because I'll be happy to give you your money, your deposit back, you know, and we just call it quits. Forget about it. You know, I won't sell it, you know. He's like, no, I'll come get it. So he's going to come get it. What am I going to do, you know? Anyway, I have to move this out over there. That is a beautiful tractor. As you can see, I put an old area rug right underneath there because I know that the engine's coming off, and if it has a busted connecting rod and a hole, you're gonna have oil all over the place. Not that the oil is already all dripped out, but anyway, I'm gonna flip it on its side. Okay, I'm gonna put it on this side because this part of the deck does not stick out. The other part does. So when you tilt it, there's nothing gonna be rubbing and can go to the side. I have this old frame of a power washer, and that engine is now on that snapper. You guys know about that. So I'm going to flip it and let it sit there. There we go. Pretty easy. That's what it looks like underneath. It's a single blade deck. I think it's about 30 inches. Blade needs sharpening. Going to inspect it just to see the connections of what I have to take off to get the deck off. So it looks like it is 6 connections, which is kind of a pain. I mean, it looks like it's just a wing nut and you pull the rod out, right? But actually there's a bolt holding this to that. So I don't know what exactly that is, just for adjustments or whatever. Middle part looks like just a wing nut, 1 rod coming out. And you got either this, or in the back there's some cotter pins, which I will probably do because that seems easier. It's a 5/8 bolt on that side, and a 1/2 inch here. Hey, what's up, Bri? Hey, did you get your lawnmower back?
Excuse me?
I left your lawnmower in the driveway. You have it?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you have it, right? I wanted to make sure you got it because I left it in front of your driveway without telling you.
Thank you so much.
No, you're my pleasure, man. Did you try it yet? Did it work?
Oh yeah, it started right on. Thanks. Oh yeah.
That was Brian, my neighbor. I fixed his Craftsman to come say, remember? Hunk of junk. Of course, I did it for free because he's my neighbor. What am I going to do? Charge my neighbor? No. Can't charge my neighbor. Anyway, sometimes when he finds lawnmowers, he brings them to me, so we're even. Know what I mean? Vern? So I can't get to the other side because the other side is on the floor. So I might have to just loosen this side. Honestly, man. Muy difícil. Alright, well that looks like that's taken out. I hope I remember where all this stuff goes. This is the rear connection. Cotter pin. That's disengaged. Might as well do this one too. Cotter pin. Pull up. There you go. Back is completely disengaged. Of course, I got to put this back on the other side so I can reach it. I'm going to take off this side now. Loosen the wing nut on the very bottom. Of course, I do have to flip it back on the other side again. Unbelievable. What a pain in the balls. That's right, I got Earl there and it's not on my carpet. Damn it. Wing nut, washer. push this rod through. That's it. That should be it. Doesn't look like it. Another thing here. Why isn't this coming off? Just got that rod out. Holding this. Unbelievable. All this, taking the deck off, guys. Unbelievable. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this back on again. Crazy. Pins and needles, needles and pins. This big spring here, and this damn belt is just attached. And I got oil all over myself. This belt is Dunsky too. That freaking spring right there is holding this thing together. Alright, that's it. I even bent that thing. Parted. This stupid deck sucks. One of the worst removals ever. Of course, I bent this rod now too, see? That sucked. I'm gonna go have a heart attack now. I'm gonna remove the crankshaft pulley. It's 5/8. Brake is on, but this belt is still very tight. Of course, it's a hot day today too. Lucky me. I doubt that there's any fuel in there. That's one thing disconnected. Just found these on the floor. Ask me where these go. No idea. Where does that go? No idea. No idea. Loosening the throttle cable now. Of course it wants to fight me. Of course I need an impact. It'd be too easy if they let me use a screwdriver. Don't have to take it all off. Or in this case I should, because it would be a pain if I didn't. Here's the throttle cable. Put the screw back on so I don't lose this thing. Throttle moves pretty simple, pretty easily. So while I'm on this side already, let's see if I can move this thing. God knows how long that lever's been here. So today I'm going to use some of my favorite Lucas Oil products, penetrating oil, from my friends at Lucas Oil. Just going to spray some penetrating oil right along the shaft of that assembly. And as you can see, this is the freewheel engagement handle. You pull this, that's supposed to move and disengage the transmission. Therefore you can push and pull it any which way you want. As you can see, this is just a spring that goes here, and if you pull it, this doesn't move at all. So it's stuck in the engaged. Look at that. See that? Moved? I think that's disengaged now because it's pulled out. I'm just going to move this around a little. Let that penetrating oil work. So that's the play right there. Not much. Just a little. That stuff works great, man. Always. Never fails. That penetrating oil. That's very loose now. Not very loose, but pretty loose. Let that baby soak in. doesn't move. It's only a spring! When I pull it, I don't know which way it is. Oh, you know what? Okay, to pull it, to have it freewheel is like that, okay? To have it running, it's like that. So have it running, this is down. Up is to be able to push. So we'll just keep it down because I want it to be able to drive after I put that keyway back in. So that's pulled out. So that's freewheel and that's drive. As you can see, this thing is probably frozen and won't work. But this is easy enough to get to later. You know, right now I want to just free things up. Spray some Lucas oil, penetrating oil in this area. Let it soak for a bit, loosen up, so then when I need to clean it up and stuff, it'll be much easier. What the hell? Gets rid of rust. With my impact, I managed to get one engine bolt off. This one not yet, because this one is in direct contact with this bar. So I can't get a shaft in there to get that bolt. Terrible design. I was able to get that one off. And guess where the last one's hiding? That's right, behind that pulley. And this pulley only goes down, not any further up. So to get that bolt conveniently, or not even conveniently because this transmission's in the way, right? Gotta take this pulley off. And there's like a hair's worth of space to get that pulley off. So I'm just gonna a tenth of a turn at a time, slowly use a 9/16 and get that stupid bolt off. Worst design ever. Took a while, but I finally got that last bolt out, so now the engine's loose from the frame. I'm going to put this back right side up again and lift that engine. Gas. Put a bolt in here so it doesn't leak all the gas out. You guys should get the gas out, huh? Now we've got this harness here. Loosen this bolt off the starter. This red wire comes off the starter motor. I'm going to put the nut back on so I don't lose it. Now you got this wiring harness here, and this is to the stator. Okay, disconnect that. I'm going to disconnect this harness. Gotta use two hands. Okay, the engine's loose now, and just gonna lift this engine. There's a zip tie on the dipstick. Oh. Ow. Still a bolt attached. It's that one behind the pulley. Oh man. Why? Finally got that bolt out. I'm spent. There it is. Took the deck off. Took the engine off. It is a royal pain to get this engine out. Royal pain. It's like they hide all the bolts, you know? They hide all the bolts. What a mess. I'm gonna go pass out now. So I've just about had enough of this. I'm spent. Got the engine over here. I might, this tire was off the bead, see? I'm gonna put it back on the bead again, pump it up. I'm gonna probably roll this to the backyard and power wash it because it's completely disgusting. While I'm doing that, as I was doing that, this is Fred from Medford. He came by to pick up the Mower Ultra tractor. I'm finally letting it go. I'm giving it to him. He's stealing it from me for $650. Then he called me the other day and he says, no, don't be silly. And then he says, oh, I saw one of your videos. Did you have a sump leak? I says, yeah, but it's not bad enough to change the gasket. And he's like, and I said, oh, you don't want any more? I'll gladly give you your $100 deposit back. And then he says, no, I'll come get it. And I'm like, damn it. Because when he left, 3 other guys emailed me and said that they'll give me $700 for it, you know. But then a deal's a deal. I made a promise to Fred. He left the deposit. I'm a man of my word, and so I told those guys, no, I already have a deposit, so I can't sell it to you.
If this is a commercial, you can count on Henry. I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Thank you very much, Fred.
He's very smart. He's very smart. Not that he gave me a deal. He's just plain smart. Ready? Say 1, 2, 3.
Go.
Henry. Next time on blowers and...
See, you just screwed that all up. I take 2.
Henry, see you guys next time on mowers and blowers. Great
yeah. Fred's a nice guy. Not everybody was meant for TV, you know what I mean? Anyway, my Mower Ultra going away for $650. He's stealing it from me. I can't keep it, man. It's a 46-inch wide. It won't even fit in my backyard. Bye, Murray. I'm gonna power wash the deck, this whole thing. So today we removed the deck. It was a pain in the ass. And took the engine off. That was a pain in the ass too. There's hardly any room to work with that thing. And it's just so many connections from the mower deck and the engine. It's just like no room to get the bolts out. You know, it was a pain. So I've had enough, man. Power washed the inner and outer of the deck as well as the mower. And basically today's episode is how to remove the deck and the engine off of this Craftsman 13.5 rear engine riding mower that I got for free. That's right, free. Tomorrow I'm going to put the engine that I got from Pete Lombardi in that trade. It's a 12.5 horsepower Briggs. Same as this one, but just 1 horsepower less. It should fit nicely, and hopefully we'll be able to get that engine in there. Hey guys, support my channel, buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on my next project. Have a great day.